And we are back. Pokemon Heart Gold, Hardcore Randomizer. We're making our way to the 7th gym here, and we run into this Smeargle on Route 43. She's going to end up with the Compound Eyes ability, so buffing that accuracy. I don't think she's going to see any playing time, but either way, we chuck the Pokeball and secure it. For our Lake of Rage first encounter, it's gonna be the Gyarados, the shiny Miss Magius. That's right. Whenever you're doing a randomizer for Heart Gold or Soul Silver, you get a guaranteed shiny because of the red Gyarados. So that is super cool. Let's see if we can use Miss Magius and get that shiny on the team. As far as her ability, she ends up with the Storm Drain passive. For our Team Rocket HQ first encounter, it's going to be the Golbat here. She ends up with the download ability, which is pretty cool. But upon evolving into the Crobat, she will lose that. So not the best, but we will take yet another first encounter. All right, it is time to take on the 7th gym leader here and his ice type Pokemon. Our team is looking really good. We've got a lot of varied movesets, some really good coverage, really good stats across the board. We've only lost one Pokemon throughout this entire run, so it has been going rather smoothly, I will say. Even in vanilla runs, I feel like Heart Gold and Soul Silver are a little bit easier than the other games, but that's usually when it bites me, when I get a little bit too confident. So I do like that element of it. So price comes down here. He's got 3 Pokemon, sends out the Quillfish first, and we got the poison water typing. I always forget that Quillfish has the poison typing. It's super interesting. So that's basically a chubby Tentacruel. The Toxic Spikes comes down. We get the Swallow out of there. The signature Yawn setup comes down. We get a little Swords Dance on the side. Make it 2, and we are just going for it all with this Lucario. You get that +6 with huge power. That quick attack's going to be one-shotting anything. And as you can see, I go for the Force Palm because the poison typing always eludes me, but we get rid of it, no problem. The Registeel comes down. It would be scary, but we have prepped. We are ready for this. 2 Pokemon down, 1 to go. Price puts it all into the Dugong, which he has normally, so he did not feel in his heart to randomize that Dugong, which is just comical, but we defeat Author Joe here, and we are on to the next part of the run. All right, as we're looking for the Team Rocket boss here, we run into our rival, and this fight usually does feels like it comes out of nowhere, but he's working with 5 Pokemon. He sends out the Raticate first. He's wanting to get that edge, get that first blood, but Anakin is here to deny him with the fadeaway critical. Get the nice level up. Our starter has been doing fantastic as the Chime Echo comes down. We got that Dark Pulse super effective lined up. It's not enough to one-shot as we tank the Psywave. No problem there, and we fade with yet another Dark Pulse. Another Pokemon comes down. It is the Crawdon with the Water Dark typing, which will betray it as the Aura Sphere is super effective. But Crawdon also holds on in the red. No heal comes down, but the Protect Cheese is here to stay, and the Aura Sphere comes in. One more will do the trick, and the Big Crab is gone. Only 2 Pokemon left. The Bayonet is here, and we have a super effective Dark Pulse for that as well. Got to be loving this Togekiss moveset as we sidestep the Will-O-Wisp. Anakin will not be denied, whether it's a blue lightsaber or red. He is doing wonders. The Victory Bell comes down. The final Pokemon here, and we go in with a Stab Air Slash, and it is a one-shot. Our rival is defeated. Beautiful stuff. All right, we make it through all the Team Rocket baddies, and we finally get to the top of the tower against Pansy, also known as Archer here. Draft Rig comes down, and we are working with that super effective Psychic, actually, which is terrible for Luke as we're trying to get that Yawn set up. He does break free, but takes so much damage, and we were absolutely dead to a critical hit. So finally put on the defensive in this run. We have been just roller skating through with no worries. The Lucario comes down, and this is going to be a neutral stab side beam, but thankfully the Yawn comes in, and Giraffe goes to sleep. That was pretty tipsy here, but we're going to lead into a Swords Dance. We're going to be +2 attack now. The Leftovers is going to be massive over the course of this fight as well. The Psychic Pony is still sleeping here, and now we got 2 procs of Leftovers on top of Swords Dance, but no critical, no confusion. Beautiful. We go for the neutral stab, Force Palm, and it is enough to take down the Giraffe. Leftovers getting us over 50 HP could be huge, and another Giraffe comes down, and this one is going to be 2 levels higher, or 3 levels higher, I should say. I don't think we can kill with a quick attack, meaning we will die to a stab Psybeam, which is just ridiculous. So we're going to have to pivot here and play it safe. The Psychic comes down, and that is stab, and that's going to do more than the Psybeam, but we do have a super effective Dark Pulse lined up. We just have to live this, and no crit. Anakin lives the starter from here to yesterday to tomorrow, as we're going to have to swap out, but we don't have any Dark typing that can take the doesn't affect pivot. We do have Palkia, who can easily tank at least one Psychic. We should be able to do this, But if we had to take 2, that's where the problem comes in. Beautiful. It always pays off to have a legendary in the back. And we fade with a Surf. We were actually faster than the Giraffe. Palkia completely flexing on Archer's team here. Vespiquen comes down, and we have a 4 times Power Gem lined up, and there is no way that the Queen Bee is going to live on that. And that was the final Pokemon. He fails Giovanni, and he fails himself onto the next part of the run. For our Bell Tower first encounter, it is going to be the fan favorite Magnezone, the upgraded Magneton here. She ends up with the Serene Grace ability, and we're just going to put that in the PC for now. For our Route 44 first encounter, it is going to be the normal type Kangaskhan here with the Insomnia ability. Very interesting stuff. Yet another Pokemon for the PC. And then on our way to the 8th gym, we run into the Ice Path here, and we find an Arbok. She's going to end up with the Forewarn passive, which is miles worse than the usual Intimidate, so probably just going to put that in the PC. For our Blackthorn City first encounter, it's going to be the tiny little Clamperl, chuck a netball, and secure it. Then we run down to Route 45, and we run into a Kadabra working with that Lightning Rod passive. I have not been able to use an Alakazam throughout really any of my Nuzlocke, so it would be super cool if we could make that dream a reality. I would have followed you as my brother, as my captain, as my king. All right, so we lose the Alakazam in the 8th gym against the trainers, and then Jirachi comes down with a stab, super effective Psychic, and Luke holds on by the skin of his teeth. However, the safeguard was already down, so the yawn does not work, and now we are in a very tough spot. We really should have grabbed a Dark type. I actually don't think we have a single Dark type in the PC, so this makes these fights super interesting. And we tank the Psychic, but we get the special defense drop, so that's really bad spot to be in. We just need Jirachi to go for something that isn't the stab Psychic so we can get in there, and it's just firing away, and nobody can tank this. So if it crits, we are in so much trouble. On top of that, it's a Psychic Steel typing, so even if we had a Ghost or Dark type, we couldn't hit it for super effective damage, but we could resist, or the Psychic wouldn't affect. So that's the beauty of that. It has Zen Headbutt as well, which won't do as much as Psychic and does have a chance of missing. However, Obi-Wan barely holds on, and our damage does literally nothing against it. We're just stalling out at this point with the Protect, and it does look like we're going to have to sack somebody else. Anakin has Dark Pulse, but again, any crit, the problem is Jirachi's getting a free move off every time we swap, but we do have the super effective Heat Wave here. However, that would necessitate living. I do believe our shiny Mismagius would outspeed Jirachi, and we do, but we miss. We absolutely miss the Heat Wave. However, Jirachi misses that head, but the Heat Wave comes down. It's not enough to finish the star mythical Pokemon, and we're gonna have to take another Zen Headbutt off the top, and we don't have enough HP. We lose our shiny. Ventress goes down, but she opened the door for our beautiful Palkia to finish the job. We did have the Earth Power. I was just scared of losing our Legendary. So in hindsight, I guess we could have risked the Palkia, but I don't want to risk the Palkia. She's too good. She's too important. So I will take the Ventress death. I will take the Mismagius loss, but that's 2 losses in this gym. So our total death count is now 3. That brings us to our fight against Author Marshall, aka the 8th gym leader, Claire. She usually has her Dragon types, but this time she opens with the Buggrass Parasect, and we've got our Swallow. This is not the first time we've seen this matchup, as we're going to encore the growth here. The Yawn's going to put the Parasect to sleep, and now we are in prime position to swap into our signature special here, the Huge Power Lucario. If I've said it once, I'll say it again. This is just so much damage that the Parasect wakes up instantly, and now if it has a special attack move that it can abuse and actually hit us with, then that's going to be a problem because the Encore ends there. But we're going to be fine here, as we are going to outspeed. This is 4 times super effective. We have the leftovers here as well, which will heal back any damage we use with the Brave Bird. You'll love to see that. I also love just picturing Lucario taking up as a bird and just flying across the battlefield and getting in there. I think that is such a cool move to have on a Lucario, as we put down the Cloister. Skywalker is carrying having the hopes and the dreams as the Spiritomb comes down and we can hit it because of the Brave Bird. But as you can see there, if we only had the fighting normal type, we couldn't hit that. So it's super important to have a third or potentially fourth move that can hit something that you normally can't hit. So the Sharpedo comes down with the taunt, but it's going to do nothing as the Force Bomb slaps her in the face and she is deleted. Absolutely gone. We get the level up as well. You'll love to see it, and we could potentially learn close combat, but given the setup strat, I don't think we're going to do it. Now, if we didn't have a setup strat, I think close combat will always beat out Force Palm so you can get in there and get out. But since we want to stay in for multiple Pokemon, we don't want to be dropping our defense or offense as we'll lose the potential Sword Stance proc. So I think what we have right now for our moveset is right where we want it. So we're going to get rid of that close combat. I guess we could upgrade Quick Attack with Extreme Speed if we learn that, but other than that, I'm really satisfied with where our moves are at right now with the Lucario, and that does it. That was the final Pokemon. Give us that 8th gym badge, and that just leaves our rival fight in Victory Road, as well as the Elite Four. Hopefully, we can take out these Ekritique girls, the Kimono girls, there you go, without too many issues. Let's see how that went. But as far as this video goes, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.